Hello, everybody. Welcome to the studio. I'm out of the view for just 1 second, but I'm going to be right there. Last minute prep. Got to get my microphone. I forgot about this little thing. All right, let's try this. Hi, I'm Theresa Stirling. Welcome, you guys. I am freestyling per usual in the studio, and I'm just bringing you along with me today. Welcome. Just get yourself a beverage, some tea or coffee, wine, whatever, wherever you are. Let's just hang out. So I am quickly going to add, hopefully, sound quality. Let me know if that works. And I'll jump back in the viewer. Okay, officially we are starting. Welcome to our live session. I'm Theresa Stirling. I own an art studio about 2 hours outside of Seattle. And I made a switch over to full-time artist about, I'd say, 10 to 12 years ago. It was a stepwise switch for me in life and never looked back. I primarily do commission work, and I really want to thank you for being part of our membership collective. Those of you who've joined, it's just fantastic, and we're going to continue to do these unlisted private live segments for you. There's always a little bit of a change up on getting the link out to you before we record it as a live session, because typically that goes public. But going forward, what we will do is schedule it in advance so it's private to our members. But for anybody who is checking it out, I'm an encaustic artist and paint with beeswax and fire, pure pigments. I primarily do photo encaustic work. And so I'm just taking you along in the studio today. I really don't even have any agenda. I'll show you just how I work, maybe take a few risks, do a little bit of fearlessness, which I think my work is known for. It's combining, say, hot wax and cold wax, pushing rules, pushing boundaries a little bit, just finding my own way. But I look at it as more innovation than anything. So I am going to bounce from a few different pieces. I'm working on 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 5 pieces right now. And what's fantastic for me is often they share some of the same color lots, but even more so, there's something about having large panels on the different tables that I can bounce from them. So it kind of keeps it fresh instead of just going really deep on one piece. I sometimes need that break, if that makes sense. So ask any questions in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back to you as well. And just happy you guys are here. So one of the things I'm going to do straight away, and I've never done this before, so might not work. Let's see. Hello, everybody. I'm not sure why someone's making a zillion comments. Hey, Summer Dog, we've got the message on there, whoever that is. Like I said, this will go unlisted after this live segment. So what I'm doing that I haven't done before is I work with the blow torches. And for some of you who are encaustic artists or enthusiasts, I'm always trying to teach new things on how you can try cool new stuff. So I am going to, what I'm trying to do with this particular image, it's a bison. If it's hard to tell, it's kind of dark right now. I start with low lights, but I am trying to warm up some of these areas and blur them. And I've tried different techniques. I sat it in the sun, and then I kind of smushed it around with like a squeegee, a troweling tool. Well, now I've got some handy old credit cards, if you will, just like plastic healthcare cards. And I'm going to warm up the wax just superficially on the surface here. And then I'm going to try to like scuffle it along and create this blurred effect. It may work, it may not, but I'm okay with that. We're only a few layers in. And today is just a 20 to 30 minute segment, if that. And I don't plan on talking the whole time. I plan on mostly working. That's why I just invite you to pull up a seat and just watch at your leisure or rewatch. It's great to have you guys. Forgot to tell you, there could be dogs barking, people stopping, neighbors saying hello, or the FedEx guy coming by. All right. Go grab some other waxes. I keep all my waxes on hot plate. So here are my hot plates, just to give you an in-studio vibe. And these are at 200 degrees. I get all the, sorry, the Wi-Fi is a little iffy today. And let's see, what else? As far as questions I get, where do I get things printed? I mentioned that. I get my waxes, my torches, and my hot plates online. One of the tools I use a lot is just a basic paint spreader stick. This is really nice. And the effect I get is I kind of can cover some larger areas in kind of an imperfect way. I don't see many people doing this, but this is hot wax that I'm spreading around. It just creates kind of an atmospheric abstract effect, which I do like. And I like this soft gray. It's one of my favorite colors to work with. And I'm just creating an effect in the background. So if you haven't tried that and you're painting with encaustics, it's fun to try. It's worth a go. It's a really pretty color. I usually have paper right below where I'm working because it can be pretty messy. I get all my big rolls of brown paper at like a Home Depot, and I get a lot of supplies and materials there actually. My boards, I'm often asked where I get them. The large format boards I either have custom made by a local woodworker. They're cradled panels, and then the crates too for shipping. Or I buy the large panels through artists and craftsmen. Those are constricted sizes, so you can't get as custom with them. So I use both. This is going pretty well. I like it. I like the feel of it. And more, I'm trying to be less precious with how perfect everything looks. I'd rather it look like there was a hand in there and a spirit and a heart and handmade. So I'm really trying to loosen up. It's a challenge for many creatives, I believe. I was not classically trained in art, so for many years I was a little bashful about not being a fine artist in that way. I think my work has evolved to at least be considered in that category. I've done a lot of large scale things, but I'm always teaching myself, which is part of the fun, truthfully. It's part of the freedom. And I really do like the experimenting part of all of this. Still just spreading around with a paint stick. And I like my wax edges to be pretty thick in layers. And then I'll hit all of this with some fire. I thought more of that pink purple would come through, but I've got another layer of things I'll add to that, which I can show you guys, and then we'll probably bounce to another piece, and then our time is going to come to a close. I just wanted to bring you in studio to show you what's going on. I'm going to get something else here just to show you guys. Thanks for your patience while I jump off screen for a second. Let's see here. Yeah. Try this. Try this. Looking for a certain color. Bear with me. Here we go. Cool. So this is like a sepia tone wax oil stick, again, made by Paints. It's a really, really nice product. And I just kind of, I don't know, rub it in here and there, creating a vibe. I do it with my gloves. I do it imperfectly. I really do want this tone in the fur, in the background. I want all of this kind of, I don't know what color you'd even call it, but it's sepia is what it's listed as. And it's really cool. It's also very satisfying to do this. So let me move you back so you can see what I'm up to. Let's see. This is better. A little bit better. As you can tell, the work that I do horizontally and even vertically when pieces are upright, it's pretty physical work. And I'm just kind of giving you guys some of the tour. Probably hit some of this even with like a dark purple. Believe it or not, all those colors kind of go on to meld into the background and enhance the look of snow. Crazy enough, right? Let's just see if we can get some purple dioxide going. If I can find it real quick. If not, we'll skip it for today. Maybe not. Okay. One other thing that I'll sometimes do once I've got the oil stick down, and I certainly have not seen anybody else do this because everybody seems so nervous about mineral spirits and who knows what else. I don't know, I'm taking just like a piece of fabric. Plastic works especially well. I might do that too. And I pour just a little bit of odorless mineral spirits. Yes, I have doors open all around me for those of you who are concerned, and you certainly don't have to do this yourself. But I'm just diluting the oil stick ever so slightly. And we are going to spread that mineral spirits around. Again, the Gamblin product is the one I buy, and it just really creates this thinning background color. It's really cool. And that works to good effect for me. It does dissipate pretty quickly too on its own. I'll let it dry for a while and then I'll hit it with fire again. I ventilate well, I always do. It's especially easy on a day like today. It's summery, doors are open, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of using the different products that are in my studio. So, and then if it gets too thin, you just add a little bit more color and so on. So that's kind of where we're at with this piece. I'm just going to leave everything right here and return to it as I move around. And that's basically what I do is I just move around from piece to piece. So now, welcome to Longhorn. And one of the ways I work on pieces like this is I start with the low lights. And that means I just start painting in the darker colors first. So we'll do that. Starts to lines, lets me know where I'm going. I do it in a way that's not super dark. I put these pieces of foil over my temperature dials so I don't drip into the connections. Okay, I hope you guys can see okay, but again, I'm not going to belabor any of the technique. I'm just kind of painting with you today. This might be a little bit dark, actually. Yeah, it might be. And if it gets too dark, you guys, just get out a pottery scraper. These areas got a little bit heavily saturated, so just scrape, scrape, scrape. Just lightens everything up. Which is cool. And I'm just going to put a little bit of wax on the hot plate and dilute my colors. But, there's a lot to painting with hot wax. And there's a lot that's almost difficult to show by way of a live segment. But I think you guys get the idea. I mean, I always find it interesting to watch people paint. And I always have, although I was not much into painting myself when I was younger. So this is kind of new exploration for me. That's why I like photo encaustic. Kind of helps guide my heart and my hands. I've done a lot of these longhorns. They're one of my favorites to paint. And I don't worry about the drips too much. So what are you guys up to today? Who's working? Who's taking a lunch hour? Who's across the world? Who's getting street food? What's happening? I am so amazed at the people on our Facebook page, like in the Encaustics workshop. They're all over the world. Finland, Thailand, Denmark, whatever. It's just so cool. So I have to remember not to just always assume that people are on PST. That's why we repost these and you guys can watch them at your leisure. Basically, I'm just laying down color. I'm not being overly precious about it or anything for that matter. I'm just laying down color, really kind of where I'm at. It's interesting. At the bottom of this can, there's a whole lot of saturation, but at the top, there's not much at all, which is kind of unusual. So I'm struggling to kind of strike that balance. Part of the challenge, maybe. Anyway, just creating a vibe and an effect. Each piece will take me several weeks, several months. I like to give myself about 2 to 3 months for a piece because I work on multiple pieces at a time. It's how I keep my studio just hot through the year. It's pretty nice. I'll have slack times and I have really busy times. Holidays are usually crazy town. I like to take it a little lighter in the summer, but I generally have stuff I'm doing. So, all right, let's see how we're doing time-wise, you guys. Oh, we're right there. We're about 30 minutes in. So I am very thankful that you guys are here. Probably if I were to share with you any other tip today, it might be, well, two things, two quick things. Perseverance always pays off. And I'm quoting Mel Robbins and Jay Shetty for that. were recently talking about that. It's true. It's the only reason I'm painting for a living. It's just perseverance in long nights and weekends, lots of blood, sweat, and tears going into things that work out, things that don't work out. But perseverance and showing up and being willing to put in the time has really made it so that I can do this. And the other thing I would say is create a space that you love. You know, anytime I've been in a space, I just try to make it cozy, welcoming for me or for anybody who wants to come by. For the most part, just make it a space that feels good to you when you come in. It feels welcoming and like your precious stuff is all around, and that makes you want to be more creative. So anyway, if you guys want to come along again soon, let me know. I'll just show you what's on the other tables and then I'll sign off. It's been great having your company in studio. Let's see what we have here. Okay, other pieces in progress. So this is a really neat large scale abstract owl that I'm just starting. This piece is on its side, but I'll start adding more layers. This would be a good one to do a live, showing you guys how I work on those pieces. We've got another bison over there that I'm working on. That one will be tighter lines and more detail. And then this piece, probably I would consider finished. I'll do a little bit of fine tuning on the composition today, and by that I mean how things are laid out. Um, I will add just a little bit more of this cashmere butter color in the middle, kind of like bone color. It just sets up a really nice gradient from the dark at the bottom up to the top. And I like exploring home baked composition. Really, what we're talking about is the way things are arranged. So, with that, you guys, we're almost at 35 minutes. It's been great to have you. Sorry about a little bit of connectivity issues. Always working to refine that. And let me know if you have any questions.